Hi everyone. Fall has clearly arrived where I live, and the changing colors have inspired this beautiful birthday card idea that I'm going to show you how to make. I'm also going to show you my favorite ink pad fall color combinations. I will be using my Leaves of Holly bundle to show you that this bundle is not just for Christmas. Shall we get started? If this is the first time you're visiting my channel, hi, I'm Terry from nutsaboutsstamping.com. I love sharing techniques and project ideas for rubber stamping, paper crafting, and scrapbooking with you each week. Be sure to hit that red subscribe button and the bell beside it so that you'll be the first to be notified when my next video goes live. Be sure to watch all the way through my video for my bonus tips and design ideas. And if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator yet, I would love for you to choose me. I'll link to my online stores in the description box under this video. Now, let's get going on this beautiful fall card idea. First, let's have a look at the Leaves of Holly bundle, which is the perfect combination to celebrate the season. I'm going to be showing you a card idea, but you can use this bundle for tags, for gift boxes, and for scrapbook pages using the classic Christmas time foliage. So this is a two-step stamping set, which means that it allows you to layer 2 or more images to create one final image with extra texture and dimension in the colors you want, which is what I'm going to be showing you today. And just so you know, this stamp set is also available in French. Now, the die pack goes beyond the stamp set, which is what I think is really neat. You have a couple of tag images, and this one also has some foliage. And then you have some extra foliage pieces that you can use to die cut out embellishments. And I'm going to be using some of these on today's card as well. So let's get going. My card base is going to be basic white, and it's going to be a vertical layout. And to that, I'm going to add a layer of the Hues of Happiness Designer Series paper. Now you might be wondering what I'm doing here with this pattern paper, but here's the thing. Turn it over and you have perfect fall color combinations to use on the card base. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to adhere this down onto my card base, and then we're going to create the phrase for the front of the card. Now to create my phrase, I'm going to use a scrap piece of basic white cardstock, and I'm going to use my pumpkin pie ink. Now my phrase is coming from the Happiness Abounds stamp set, because the Leaves of Holly stamp set has more Christmas phrases, and I've already mentioned this is a birthday card. So I've taken the phrase that says you are wonderful in every way, and I'm going to ink that up and stamp it down on this scrap. And then there is a die that I can use from the Leaves of Holly bundle. So I will be die cutting that out in a minute. Now, let's talk about fall color combinations and your ink pads. Now, when thinking about fall colors for your cards, I have several suggestions, and then afterwards I'll share my favorite. So when I think of fall cards, I think of Mango Melody, I think of Crumb Cake, I think of Soft Suede, I think of Rich Razzleberry. Blackberry Bliss is a lovely color for a sort of a darker tone, and then Merry Merlot. So those are some ink pad colors that you can think about combining together, but let me show you my favorites now. My all-time favorite color combinations for fall cards uses pumpkin pie, crushed curry, and Cajun craze. And today, I'm going to throw in a little bit of real red as well. So I'm going to use the two-step stamping technique to create my leaves. It's always good to have a scrap piece of grid paper lying around so that you can mess around with color combinations and decide which ones you like best. So here are some of my color combinations that I played with before I started taping this video, and I'm going to use a couple of them on today's card. So I have 3 leftover pieces of basic white cardstock, and these are what I'm going to use to create my leaves for the front of my card. So the first combination I'm going to use is crushed curry and pumpkin pie. So for my crushed curry, I'm going to ink up and stamp down the more solid of the 2 images because I want the more yellow tone to come through. And then I'm going to ink up the other stamp, the outline stamp, with pumpkin pie, and I'm going to stamp that down on top. Hard to do when I'm talking at the same time. All right, now I am going to put my crushed curry away, and now I'm going to keep my pumpkin pie, and my second leaf is going to be pumpkin pie and Cajun craze. So I'm going to do that one next. First I have to clean my, my stamps. So this time I want the more solid stamp to be pumpkin pie, and then the more accent stamp, or the one that provides the accents, will be in Cajun craze. Like so. Ooh, I really like that color combination. And then the last color combination that I'm going to use is crushed curry and old olive. So I'm going to start off with the more solid stamp. It's going to be in crushed curry because I want that yellow color again to shine in more prominently. And then I'm going to use the outline stamp with the old olive. Old olive is another one of the favorite colors I have for fall. Now what I'm going to do is use my dies. I'm going to stop the video and I'm going to die cut each of these leaves out, and at the same time I am going to die cut out my phrase. So I'll be back in a moment. And there we are, ready to move on to the next step of making this card. Now also in the die pack there's these like kind of boughs, I guess they're called, or little branches, and I'm going to take some scrap pieces of old olive, and I'm going to die cut out 4 of these little branches. So I'm going to do this one set first, and then I'm going to take a second piece of old olive and cut out a second set. And I'm going to be using these as accents on my fall card. All right, we're getting closer to finishing off the assembly of this. Now, the last thing I want to do is take another piece of scrap basic white cardstock, and I'm going to use the berry images that are in the stamp set. There's a solid, and then there's the outline. So for my color combination, I'm going to use real red for the solid, and then I'm going to use Cajun craze for the accent or outline pieces. Get this the right way. And then, I think that's a beautiful color combination. I think it really enhances the real red. I've never really used real red and Cajun craze before, and I really like it. And yes, there is a die for this in the pack, so I'll go ahead and die cut that out, and then we'll assemble the card. All right, I have all my pieces ready to go, and what I'm going to do is set this card base aside for just a minute, and I'm going to bring in a scrap piece of basic white cardstock, and that's what I'm going to adhere all of these bits and pieces to. So the first thing I want to do is take some of this old olive ribbon. Now this ribbon is no longer available, but as I have said all along, this is my New Year's resolution, to use up all the leftover bits and pieces of embellishments and ribbon on my cards. So you obviously have the choice to use your favorite color of coordinating ribbon to go with this project or not. There are lots of other ideas that you can do instead of using ribbon. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere the ribbon across the front, and then eventually I'll add a bow to it as well. So I'm going to put it a little bit above the bottom of this layer. Now the next thing I'm going to do is attach this layer to my card base, and I'm going to do it a little bit over to the right side, just for a different kind of look. Instead of always being in the middle, I like to switch it up a little bit. Now I'm going to arrange my leaves, and I think what I'm going to do is add them with some Stampin' Dimensionals. Right, I'm going to add this leaf here like so, and then I'm going to attach my phrase. I put some mini Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of my phrase like so. And then I have a larger Stampin' Dimensional for the berries. And I think what I'll do is, don't know where I want to put my berries. I think to be different, I'll put them like that. Now what I want to do is attach these boughs, and basically what I want to do is use them to fill in some of the white space that is on my card. And I will attach these boughs using some of the fine tip glue pen, because this is a very skinny kind of die or skinny embellishment to add to my card. So I'll go ahead and I'll adhere these down, let it dry for a second, and then I'll come back and we'll talk about other embellishments that you can use on this card. All right, I have one last bough that I want to attach. I think I'm going to do it like that so it overlaps my phrase a little bit. If you would like to see another Boughs of Holly card idea, why don't you watch this video next? Now, for embellishments, what I've decided to do is use up some of my elegant faceted gems. I've got these 3 gems, which to me represent more fall colors, at least in my mind they do. And so I'm going to add some gems. I'm going to put one there, and I think I'll put kind of like the idea of having it on the white. One there, and then I think I'll add a final one there. Obviously, you can determine what gems you want to use and where you're going to put them. If you would like a complete listing of the supplies that I used and the measurements for the layers, I will link to my blog article in the description box under this video. You can click on that link, head over to my blog, see a list of everything, including product ordering numbers, in case you want to order this bundle to make this card at home. I'm Terry. I'm nuts about stamping. I'll see you at the next video. Bye for now.